The headlines for the next 1 hour.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Tonight, Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana SETAG strike continues. We will tell you what is being done to resolve the impasse.
And also coming up tonight, in the face of public transport crisis involving shortage of vehicles, we'll tell you how the railway system become an alternative means for commuters in parts of Greater Accra.
Later in the bulletin, structures along the Takoradi Cape Coast Highway demolished as government pushes forward with its Big Push agenda.
In business news, Institute for Energy Security Defense NPA fuel price floor as essential safeguard for market stability and fair competition.
Elsewhere around the world, US President Donald Trump says he will 100% follow through on the threat to impose tariffs over Greenland demand. We have details of all these stories and more coming your way within the next 1 hour.
We continue with our series on public transportation systems in the country, and in the face of the current public transport crisis involving shortage of vehicles, the railway system has become an alternative means for commuters, as some have called for more shuttles to aid easy movement. Christian Yali aboard a train from Tema to Accra reports passenger sentiment about the commute.
It's 6:30 a.m. at Adogono, one of the train stations along the Tema-Accra rail line. People had already gathered, waiting for the arrival of the train to board. Tickets sell at 8 cedis for economy and 10 cedis for first class.
Myself, I need to join this, and then my cameraman would also join me inside so that we get to move with the other passengers who are using this. And so
along the way, one striking concern is the close establishment of houses and makeshift structures, as well as how sewage and sand have buried significant portions of the metallic component, which then causes derailment.
If we use the actual roads, it's more congested with cars, and these days you really get transportation to your various destinations. So the train doesn't stop that much, so I think it's better than using public transport.
It is good that the government invests in this area of transportation so that we can have an efficient transportation systems in this country.
Compared to the minute I get to the workplace, I will choose the train over the normal trotro.
This is my first time boarding a train, so I don't have much experience about how the system runs and how it is done here, but so far I'm loving it. I think it's cool. It's convenient and it's safe and it's fast. So
there's a new line, but this one is old line, so the new one can now work on this one unless they expand this one. This is an old railway track.
We made a number of stops at Bachona, Shangri-La and Achimota, where the head of the train was detached and moved to the other end of the train before we could head towards Circle and Accra.
Before, we were having a DMU there. We started operating at it somewhere 2011, something like that, and it got spoiled. It is stuck at the shed there. If government can repair that one and do some rehabilitation on the line, I think we can use that one.
For some passengers, there should be more shuttles for persons who are unable to board the early one, which moves just once in a day.
Thanks, if a bit me twice, and I say be away, for so I follow, and no bad bomb, kakra. There no one who say, oh, it's a where they we beba iti ebe train second one. I had to say trotro. Say we train mujawa. Unim second there's more car there ebe binding. Or better obenye biya body.
There is even more danger when you get to Accra, where traders are almost taking over the rail lines. But even as the campaign goes for deliberate investment into the sector, this particular train is aged and wobbles frequently. Even at the first class session, the ceiling fans there are rusty.
When you are coming, you can see that there are people who have encroached, and you see these night workers, weak smokers.
So this is my third experience, and so if I can say their timing is always perfect. Like when it's our place, it's at Adegono, and they arrived there at 6:40, and before we got there, the train was already there. It's only 6:38.
In the last 3 weeks, we decided to pick the normal car to Accra, and then we stood by the roadside for almost an hour, running around looking for just the right car to pick and all that. So yes, I would encourage the government to invest more in the railway system.
The train line here is full of waste, but much more could be done to make the sector more attractive. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
Right, we're staying on the subject matter, and the Transport Ministry says it has reached an agreement with transport operators on a work plan aimed at addressing the current transportation crisis.
From mid-December to date, we have experienced a lot of long queues, and we have gone through a lot of pain. It has been a worry to government and, for that matter, the ministry and all the unions. And we started engaging. The unions themselves and us sat down and asked ourselves, what is the problem in our transport industry? What is causing the unavailability of vehicles? And we have identified a lot of operational areas that we need to tackle. And so we have identified all the sectoral areas and a work plan to follow. The good is that the unions themselves are prepared to lead in the discipline of their colleagues to ensure that there are no more any floating drivers or vehicles on our roads, to make sure that they bring all of them to the terminals to load our people, and if there is need to create any system somewhere that buses will move in to help move people from one point to another, the unions are prepared to do. And so they've agreed that from hence they are going to reintroduce what they call the identification tax or stickers on all vehicles. So if you see any vehicle, you will know that this vehicle belongs to this union, and it is not at the terminal, and it is doing the floating activities and charging unapproved fares. They've also agreed that they will put themselves in the same task force to ensure that drivers comply with the agreed fares that we, the Ministry of Transport, and the unions agreed to in May last year. They have assured us that there are some Tata buses that they are going to make available to ensure that they will also come in to help move our commuters from work to home or from home to work. And I must say that we are going to direct to each sector all the recommendations we have made and ensure that all of us will implement all these measures. Again, there's another concern that the drivers say that the traders have taken over their stations and the roadsides. So the turnaround time of vehicles is now limited. If a vehicle would have made 4 trips a day, they are forced to do 2 trips.
Let's now go to the Western region, where multiple makeshift houses along the Takoradi Cape Coast Highway have been demolished as government pushes forward with its Big Push agenda. In spite of an 8-week notice, many were caught scrambling to salvage their structures. What was next for these residents? Irama Smith has more.
The demolition exercise began from the PTC interchange in Takoradi towards Shama on Monday morning. The exercise is to make way for the implementation of the 73.6-kilometer Takoradi Cape Coast Highway redevelopment project. 3 dedicated units representing the 2nd Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly, the Efiakwesiminti Municipal Assembly and the Shama Municipal Assembly are systematically clearing every temporary structure along the shoulders of the highway.
They consider that they can take everything for granted. You must be developed.
In what may be described as a little too late, some occupants of these temporary structures could be seen scrambling to protect their properties.
Oh, say I tell you, Omokache say ending. Ending, you need him say January ending, say February ending. And Luntasa, oh, shall swap. Now, what swap, ye boy.
The municipal engineer for Efiakwesimintim, Ismail Eduse, who is supervising the exercise from the PTC interchange to the Nat Hall at Vijay, explained that the contractors are no longer entertaining any further delays in the evacuation.
Yes, for now there has not been any resistance since the start. Well, if you started, consider you, because already you have your carpenters and then the metal people on it that they are removing. So when we get there, we will not actually demolish it.
Fortunately for those affected at Ahinkofi, a suburb of Sekondi, the traditional leader Nana Kwamena Ahinkofi IV has offered a free place for them to stay.
Ansana warba hanampo wakachira. Nti se siara ahokyere waba no. Nso waba mo kwada se menya baby for from zan hona. Nti ma sha ase de baby a spaces in kakra wo ho no. Mo chiche mezano.
We are staying on transport-related issues and relief for residents and motorists who use the Somanyakpong Highway as rehabilitation work resumes. Road users, however, are urging authorities to expedite construction work to prevent a repeat of the prolonged delays experienced previously.
Stretch protested for the rehabilitation of the Somanyakpong Road as an 11.3 kilometer stretch.
This marks the second time work has commenced on the Somanyakpong Highway for rehabilitation works. Construction work delayed during last 2 years, sparking public outrage leading to protests. In October, some youth protested the deplorable state of the Somanyakpong Road affected local businesses, the agricultural value chain, and economic livelihoods. Contractors have now returned to the site to rehabilitate the stretch. In the meantime, motorists are required to use detour routes, while other road users endure dusty conditions along portions of the road. Some shops remain closed. Road users hope the project does not suffer further delays again.
Level of dust in the area as a result of the reconstruction of the road is too much. We plead on the authorities to do regular watering, and then the contractors.
Sometimes keep I'm not going to travel
time has increased because of the diversion of the road. We plead that the contractor and the authorities should fasten the project for us.
Traffic or them.
Because we are no break here. Now,
things are not bought when you open our shop, so we pray that the project should be done in a haste.
A fastness.
Drivers have increased their charges because they pass through the longer route to the market. It's up to get vehicles. The municipal chief executive for the Lower Manyakrobo municipality, John Ate Mate, assured residents that contractors will intermittently water the road to reduce dust while work progress to meet expected timelines.
Roadside who are having businesses by the roadside, a lot of dust every day. I always speak to them that at least every day, if we can give them like twice of the watering, it will be the best. I am hopeful that they will heed to that advice and will reduce the inconvenience that our people are facing, so that by the end of the construction, we shouldn't see a lot of casualties. People falling sick because of respiratory problems and all that. I know that by the end of the year, I'm sure that this road will completely be done.
United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 9 calls on government to develop reliable, sustainable, and resilient infrastructures, such as road, to support economic development and improve human well-being.
In more news tonight, Ghana's ambassador to the United States, Victor Emmanuel Smith, says he has been told by the former minister's cousin, that's Gabi Asari Otredako, that Ken Ofori-Atta is unwilling to return to the country to answer corruption charges against him, fearing how he may be treated. The former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, who was detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is expected to appear before a judge tomorrow, Tuesday, January 20. Let's listen to Ambassador Victor Smith when he spoke on the key points.
I had a call from Gabi Otredako. He expressed that worry. And I assured him that he will have to go through the due process. I mean, everybody goes through a due process of law. So they're not going to be like, people are not going to attack him. We don't behave like that. He and that Ken himself, by his own doings, being evasive with the OSP arrest, have created this brouhaha around his case. So that is the point. So don't let nobody get me wrong. It was not my own view. It was a view expressed by Gabi Otredako, who is a relative of his. He made a call to me, and I said, I wanted to have an opportunity to assure him that he would have to go through the due process like anybody else goes through the due process. So that anxiety, fear, everything.
Meanwhile, pressure group Arise Ghana has announced plans to picket continuously at the U.S. Embassy in Accra from tomorrow, January 20. The group is demanding the extradition of the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta to face some 78 corruption-related charges in Ghana. Let's now get onto the phone lines and engage one of the conveners. Selom Dramado is a leading member of Arise Ghana. Selom, thank you so much for your time. First of all, what key message do you want to send across with tomorrow's picketing?
Okay, the message we are sending across to Ghanaians and Ghanaians all over the world is that tomorrow we're converging at the American Embassy to send a strong message to the United States government that the gentleman in their country, who is sojourning in their country, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister of this country, is of high interest here in Ghana. Therefore, they must repatriate, deport, or extradite him to Ghana, or send him back to Ghana to face accountability and justice. Because that is what majority of Ghanaians are demanding. That the gentleman who steered the affairs of, who steered our economic well-being, who managed this country, who grossly mismanaged, I take that again, grossly mismanaged this country, must face accountability, must account to the good people of Ghana. Because throughout the 8 years of his cousin's tenure as the president of this republic, he never deemed it fit to account to us. Now is the day, this is the day of reckoning for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to be brought to Ghana to account to the good people of Ghana.
All right, Salam, do you have clearance to picket at the U.S. Embassy tomorrow? What's the arrangement with the Ghana Police Service?
You're asking whether we have clearance to
picket at the U.S. Embassy, yes. Okay,
as far as the Public Order Act is concerned, which actually regulates outdoor events, we have complied sufficiently with the Public Order Act. We sufficiently notified the police. The police, as per the Public Order Act, also invited us for meeting to discuss the modalities for tomorrow's picket.
Salam, thank you so much for your time. And Salam Dramado is a leading member of Arise Ghana.
Let's turn our attention to education-related matters now. And the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CETAG, on Monday, the 24th of November 2025, declared a strike effective over what it says was government's failure to implement the National Labour Commission's arbitral award. About 2 months on, the strike still persists, and CETAG is demanding an agreement be honored and obligations under the National Labour Commission's arbitral award, which was given them in May 2023, the 2nd of May, that is. Let's walk you through some of the key details of why they are on strike and what should be expected going forward. As we speak, the strike is on day 56. Tomorrow will be day 57 because they began the strike on the 24th of November 2025. Again, all the colleges of education in Ghana are affected. That is 46 of them are all on strike. That is the teachers in all of them. And the number of teacher trainees whom this strike is affecting is over 66,000 plus. The concern here is that there has been a budgetary allocation for the 2026 academic year, which is 1.26 billion Ghana cedis for colleges of education to use to run their business. Now, this is why they are on strike. They are asking government, or saying that government has not implemented binding arbitral awards by the National Labour Commission. Their book and research allowance remain unpaid, and then agreed conditions of service have also not been implemented. They say there are delays in there as well. And so on the back of that, let's try and find out what the next line of action will be. Joining us on phone now is the president of the National Conference of Principals of Education, Colleges of Education, Professor Samuel Atintonu. Prof, good evening to you. Thank you for your time.
Good evening.
Yeah, to start with, we know that your teachers are on strike. How far is the strike ongoing? We know that the centers have opened. School is supposed to be in session. Are the teachers likely to come back anytime soon?
Thank you very much. Good evening to you and to our cherished listeners, all the 49 principals of the College of Education and our staff, the staff members and their presidents. Yes, they embarked on the strike on 24th November 2025. When they had a strike, we had only 1 week that the students had returned to campus. Then by 13th December last year, you remember Christmas holidays and New Year, we went on break. So in actual fact, from 13th November 2025, now we are still on break. But of course, when they declared the strike, did not call it off. So they are on strike. We are expecting that the students will be back on campus on 9th February. So what's happening now is that in the college, the students are not back on campus. But yes, since it has declared the strike, they are still on. Right. But the background to it is this. They were tutored by 2023, but they went for an LSD.
Yeah, but Prof, because of time, I would want to, sorry for cutting it, because of time, I want to come in here and ask me my final question, which would be that how far with the resolutions and the concerns that were raised by the teachers, have they been able to meet government? What kind of responses have they got? And would that get them back in class before students return?
All right. So their main thing as we speak now, why they call this, why they are on strike, has to do with the arrears for book and research allowances for 2023-2024 academic year. As a result of the migration that the government migrated them in January 2025 to university structure. So when they embarked on it, the Minister for Education called them for a meeting and immediately set up a small committee to advise them what to do, mainly action points, which we did. Up to where we are, they are aware that part of the thing they took there was all year round, and out of these 30 colleges have been paid fully for the all year round compensation. 12 colleges are left. 4 colleges, including my own college, that's Accra College of Education, partial payment. So it is now left with the book and research allowance for 2023-2024. Government have made a firm commitment to pay them, and we are positive that before 9th February, they would be paid.
Right. Okay. We'll definitely keep fingers crossed on this. Professor Samuel Atintonu, thank you for making time to speak with us on this.
Thank you.
Still on education, concerns are growing over unpaid scholarships for Ghanaian PhD students in the United Kingdom as fresh details emerge about long-standing arrears owed by the state. Ghana's High Commissioner to the UK has disclosed that the debts, estimated at £32 million, date back several years, raising broader policy questions about Ghana's foreign scholarship program.
High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Sabazita Benson, has revealed that the debts owed to universities and students are largely legacy arrears accumulated over several years. According to the High Commissioner, the outstanding amount stands about £32 million.
I totally understand their plight. This situation was created over 5 years. There was a legacy debt of £35 million that I came to meet. So what we did last year was that we paid £3 million out of the £35 million. And we also did not admit any new students. And this year, due to the situation, we are not admitting new students. We've resolved that until we clear that debt that was left behind. There's no point adding to the debt that is already in existence.
Public policy think tanks argue that beyond delayed payments, the crisis raises fundamental questions about Ghana's decision to sponsor postgraduate studies abroad for programs that are already offered by local universities.
These foreign scholarships are preserved for programs that are not run in Ghana. But over the years, we've seen a situation whereby even normal MBA programs that are run by School of Business in UCC or School of Business in Legon are given to students to go and then do it in universities outside the country. I think that is one of the bases for we would see a little change in the number of programs that are given, that are allowed to be run outside the jurisdiction. In terms of some of the sciences, you might need teaching resources and you might not have them in the country. And that's why we are not saying that allowing students to do these programs outside the country is bad in its entirety, no. But we are saying that some of the programs can be done in this country. And therefore, the universities are well equipped, well resourced to run most of the programs. What I suspect they should be doing is to first do an audit of the programs that the students there are offering, and then look at the nature of their, commitment, because most of these programs, there are undertakings that right after you've done your program, you have to come back to the country and serve the country.
The Interior Minister has condemned the abuse of the national security label by some state actors, warning that the misuse of security powers by certain officers undermines the rule of law and public trust. Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak acknowledged growing concerns over the misapplication of the security laws and stressed that national security must not be used as a cover for unlawful arrests, intimidation, or violation of human rights and citizens.
Interior Minister Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak has expressed appreciation for private sector participation in supporting the protection of Ghana's borders. Speaking after an engagement with the Governing Council of the Ghana Immigration Service, he said collaboration with non-state actors remains critical in strengthening border security and immigration management.
Trying to partner other private organizations to help us to do that. Because government cannot do it all. Because the enormity of the challenge is really, really heavy. And if somebody has 10 motorbikes, he can donate to immigration. That's useful. 5 motorbikes, 1 motorbike. Somebody has pickup there, he can assist others. That's a way of helping to keep our officers safe so they can keep all of us safe.
Addressing questions on the recent arrest of illegal immigrants across parts of the country, the Interior Minister explained that government will adopt the most appropriate measures in dealing with the suspects. According to him, options will include prosecutions where necessary.
Our Immigration Law Act 571 is very clear. If you come into our country and you flout the visa condition that you came in, the first option for immigration is to remove you. So we've been busy doing that. But those who are involved in criminality, we try to present them before the court for prosecution. So we are doing the combination of, like these beggars. If you take a beggar to the court, what are you going to get out of it? But some, you see that they do heavy defrauding and all that. We make sure that they are prosecuted. Others we get, and you see that the best for you is to remove them. And the immigration is doing excellently well.
Touching on public concerns over the conduct of some security personnel operating under the guise of national security, particularly a viral video showing an attack on staff of the Energy Ministry, the minister assured such concerns have been taken seriously.
Unfortunately for us, one of the nomenclature that is heavily abused is national security. All I need to just get some jacket and then put it in, I just call it national security. And then no ID, nothing shows. So the police is investigating that because, I mean, obviously we frown on that. We condemn that. I mean, if somebody commits a crime, you don't go beating the person. Why are you just going, you are just pouncing on people, not because they are fighting. We can't countenance of that. Every single Ghanaian that is maltreated will make sure that where the right thing is done. Because we just don't recruit you and give you uniform and arms to molest our citizens. I've said that a number of times. So yes, we want you to keep the system safe, but we don't want you to use it as a license to molest innocent citizens.
Meanwhile, the Interior Minister has announced plans to roll out an independent complaints commission for all security services.
Let's now go to the Ashanti region, where the 2002 and 2003 year group of St. Louis Senior High School in Kumasi has commissioned an ultra-modern sick bay for their alma mater. The project is expected to enhance first aid response and medical care for the growing student population.
The ultra-modern sick bay, equipped with modern medical facilities, is the latest infrastructural support provided by the old students of the 2002-2003 year group of St. Louis Senior High School. Members of the project's planning committee say the facility was designed to cater for the increasing number of students, particularly in emergency situations requiring prompt first aid and basic medical care.
It is a legacy of hope, of health, and of care, so that whatever we have left here today, girls will come in and those who are present now would have good health, study, and come out to be virtuous women as the values of the school portray.
The GEAR group used the occasion to encourage other alumni groups to initiate and support priority projects aimed at easing challenges confronting the school.
We've had various old girls contribute to various industries, both corporate, health, everywhere. So we want to see that legacy continue.
I would advise any other year group to come round, see what the school needs, then they can gather themselves up, put something up, then do it for the school.
The headmistress of St. Louis Senior High School, Amatrewa Brefo, expressed gratitude to the 2002-2003 year group for prioritizing student health and welfare.
This is going to be very, very helpful because the number has shot up dramatically. And the existing one that we had is not big enough to take care of our health needs.
The new sick bay is expected to significantly improve healthcare delivery on campus and contribute to a safer and healthier learning environment for students of St. Louis Senior High School.
We didn't see Evelyn Tinma there. That's her former school.
Oh, our very own Evelyn Tinma. Well, congratulations to the year group for undertaking that feat. This is still News 360 on TV3. We have business, sports, and entertainment coming up. Stay with us.
It's quite relevant because even though we anticipate or we expect some free market mechanisms to come to play, there must be a way where government will be able to intervene so that when things are going beyond certain things that will not that lead to the sustainability of the sector, the government can come into play. That is why we have a regulator. So the regulator in the form of MPAs monitors what happens in the market. And so you should be finding out what can a regulator do to protect the consumer, whether it is to implement a price floor or to allow the normal forces of demand and supply, or to even implement a price ceiling.
IES noted unregulated price wars in fuel markets often lead to monopolization, supply disruptions, and ultimately higher consumer prices.
A way to prevent some predatory pricing, that is by stopping some dominant or some well-capitalized firms that might be selling petroleum products below a sustainable cost level. Secondly, it also is supposed to protect smaller and then emerging oil marketing companies that can be eliminated when there is some destructive price wars that they cannot financially withstand. And the third one is that it helps also preserve some healthy competition by keeping multiple players active within the market, as well as guaranteeing the continuous supply of petroleum products and then the consumer protection.
We bring you updates now from the currency and the commodities market. Segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Portia has more stories.
Thank you so much. His testimony against the former NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Enchubo-Isiaku, aka Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi, that's Kwame Entry, a director at Akonta Mining, currently at large, and Akonta Mining have been charged with 3 counts each of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation at Sameboy in the Western region.
The second prosecution witness, Henry Okum, among other things, told the court during cross-examination by lawyers for Wontumi that the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair handed over his concession at Sameboy for him to mine on. Okum, a small-scale miner with 7 years of experience, also indicated that he obtained the license in 2017. When pushed, however, to produce same, he explained that there was a video showing the launch of the company by a minister. He later contradicted himself by admitting that he did not in fact have a mining license, but insisted that the presence of government officials at the site demonstrated official approval. Under further questioning by lead counsel for Wontumi Apiakubi, the witness acknowledged that small-scale mining licenses are restricted to specific locations, but was unable to clearly state the exact area his license permitted him to operate. He testified that before moving to Sameboy, he conducted a search at the Minerals Commission and was informed that the concession belongs to Akonta Mining. This, he said, led him to approach Chairman Wontumi to seek permission to work on the land. Okum admitted he was neither a director nor a board member of Akonta Mining, but insisted that Chairman Wontumi owned the company. He further told the court that a letter was sent to the Regional Secretary Council, RECSEC, on Akonta Mining's letterhead signed by Chairman Wontumi to facilitate operations on the site. Although the witness claimed to have a copy of the letter, he failed to produce it in court but assured the court he could make it available if given the opportunity. Lawyers for Wontumi prayed for the document to be produced before the close of his case, a request the court granted. On the condition of the land, Okum admitted that the Sameboy concession was not a virgin land, describing it as an area riddled with abandoned pits from previous illegal mining activities. He said Chairman Wontumi had informed him of existing illegalities on the land and advised that abandoned pits be covered before mining could commence. The witness, however, rejected the suggestion that Chairman Wontumi's complaint to RECSEC was solely about illegal mining, stating that the situation also created an opportunity for him to work on the land after the removal of illegal miners. Okum maintained that Akwanta Mining itself did not carry out mining operations at the site after the security operation, insisting that Chairman Wontumi handed over the concession to him to work on. The case has since been adjourned to Wednesday, January 21, for prosecution's third witness to be cross-examined. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
We have sports news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360 with me, Oreku Ampafo. We begin with the first FIFA rankings of the year 2026, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria have climbed up to 26th position, and that ranking was released earlier on January 19, moving up an impressive 12 places. Nigeria rose up from the 38th position following a strong showing at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, where the Super Eagles won the bronze medal. The three-time Africa Cup of Nations champions are now ranked as the third best team in Africa, behind AFCON champions Senegal, who are now 12th on the FIFA ranking, and host Morocco, who climbed up to an all-time high of 8th in the world. Algeria and Egypt occupy 4th and 5th positions respectively on the African rankings. Meanwhile, the Black Stars remain 72nd in the world and 14th in Africa. In the world ranking, Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and Croatia make up FIFA's current top 10 countries. Now let's head to Morocco, because what we do know is that Senegal are champions. However, a lot of drama has unfolded in the last 24 hours preceding that triumph from the Teranga Lions. And so let's just recap what has been happening so far. Now, just a reminder that from Brahim Diaz apologizing for his missed penalty kick to FIFA President Gianni Infantino condemning the decision, this is what's happened after Senegal won the trophy. And so Brahim Diaz, who missed the penalty in the final minute of the game, has come out to say, "My soul aches. I dreamed of this thanks to all the love that you gave me, every message, every show of support that made me feel I wasn't alone. I thought with everything I had, my heart above everything else. Yesterday I failed, and I take full responsibility and apologize from the bottom of my heart." It will be hard to recover because this wound doesn't heal easily, but I'll try, not for myself, but for everyone who believed in me and everyone who suffered with me. I'll keep going until one day I can repay all this love and be a source of pride for my Moroccan people. And so let's move from Brahim Diaz to his federation, where they have announced that it will resort to legal procedures with the Confederations of African Football and FIFA to address the withdrawal of the Senegalese national team from the final match against the Moroccan national team and the event that ensued after the referee rewarded the penalty kick, which was deemed correct by all experts. This significantly affects the normal course of the match and the players' performance. CAF have also thrown in their voice condemning the unacceptable behavior of some players and officials during the final between Morocco and Senegal in Rabat. CAF strongly condemns any inappropriate behavior which occurs during matches, especially those targeting the refereeing team or match organizers. CAF is reviewing all footage and will refer the matter to competent bodies for appropriate action to be taken against those found guilty. And then the FIFA president has also thrown in his voice, demanding that we must always respect decisions taken by match officials. Teams must compete on the pitch within the laws of the game, because anything less puts the very essence of football at risk. He concludes by saying the ugly scenes witnessed today must be condemned and never repeated. And so a very busy 24 hours after Senegal won their second Africa Cup of Nations title. If this is anything to go by, there is the suggestion that there could potentially even be more drama in subsequent days. Well, as usual, the 3 Sports team will continue to bring you updates. My name is Oreku Ampofo.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by GTP Lifestyle and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the entertainment news segment here on News360. My name is Noella Donko. All is set for the grand finale of the acclaimed music reality show Mentor, the Breakout Edition, scheduled for Sunday, January 25, as the finalists step up preparations for the ultimate showdown. The vocalist and finalist Achedie has her eyes firmly set on the top prize, saying she is focused on delivering her best performance yet. Speaking to 3 Entertainment, Achedie described winning the Mentor title as a life-changing moment that would mark a major turning point in her music career.
I'm hopeless now.
I love music. I've basically I've been singing all my life. Ever since I was a child, I've been singing in church. I use music in my happy moments and in my sad moments. And so I felt like I want to do this. I really have the passion for music and I have the talent. So I'm an amazing vocalist. So I realized that why not, take this music far. And fortunately for us, TV3 gives us the opportunity to be able to showcase our talent as musicians.
Born Fidelia Achedie Boahima Ahin, Achedie is one of the standout contestants of this year's Mentor, the Breakout Edition. Musically, Achedie is known for her unique fusion of Afrobeats and soul with touches of R&B, a sound that has strongly resonated with audiences throughout the season. The native of Sekondi Takrady described the Mentor platform as a learning curve, noting it helped to refine her artistry, understand stagecraft, and build confidence as a performer.
I would say transforming, in the sense that I'm one contestant that has really grown. My growth is amazing. If you look at my previous performances and you look at my now performances, you see a wide difference. Mentor has really, really, really transformed me, and I'm grateful.
With 5 other contestants also eyeing the ultimate prize, competition remains keen, but Achedie remains optimistic about her chances heading into the finale.
I think I have a higher chance of winning. I do. In fact, I've already won. People should give me the credit and we go home. This time, we are at the final stage. We are not here to joke. We are not here to play. We are just killing it once and for all. So I'm bringing my A game. I'm bringing everything. That's my last. It's like giving the last opportunity to go to heaven. That's how I feel. That's it for me. So I'm bringing my A game. I'm bringing everything that I'm supposed to bring.
For the CAF University College alumni, winning the Mentor title would mean more than just the 200,000 Ghana cedi prize and bragging rights. She says it will represent validation of her hard work and a major turning point in her budding music career.
Winning Mentor is going to mean the world to me. I don't even have a word to describe that. But it's going to mean the world to me and my family and friends. Those who are really close to me, they understand. I'm the only contestant that have tried Mentor for the 3rd time. And if I didn't want it, I would have been sleeping by now. But I didn't give up.
As the finale draws closer, the young vocalist remains hopeful, promising fans a memorable performance on the final night.
To make them proud and not regret their decisions. And so I'm fully prepared. I'm saying 90% because I have 1 or 2 things I still have to put together. But by Sunday, we'll give you a show.
With the stage set and anticipation mounting, all eyes will be on Achedie and her fellow finalists as Mentor, the Breakout Edition, prepares to crown its next star. Well, do make sure to join us this Sunday at the National Theatre for the grand finale. My name is Noella Donko. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Noella. Coming up, international news.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he will 100% follow through on his threat to impose further tariffs if a deal over Greenland is not reached. The U.S. president also responded, saying no comment when asked whether he would use force to seize the island. It comes as his messages to Norway's Prime Minister are released, in which he says that not being given the Nobel Peace Prize means he no longer has an obligation to think purely of peace. Greenland's Prime Minister says, quote, "We will not let ourselves be pressured." Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has described President Trump's plan to impose tariffs on 8 countries as completely wrong.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Asiedu-Dati.
And I am Portia Gabo, the sports station at 9 p.m. Ghana Tonight at 10 p.m. with Alfred Okansi. Good evening.